good evening, good night, wherever you are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Introduction Part 2 of Project Management. So, the other time we gave definition of a project. So, today's lesson we are proceeding with characteristics of a project. So, what are the features of a project? So, when we were doing definition, we said a project is a temporary endeavor. Temporary nature of project means it has got a definite beginning and an end. Okay. Second, a project requires resources in terms of technology, human infrastructure, time, and equipment in order to meet its objectives. So, for any project activities to be carried out, there is need of resources. And we've mentioned some of the resources as technology, meaning the modern methodology of doing something, okay, through the use of maybe the computerized system. We need the human beings to coordinate the operations of equipment and the use of technology. Okay. So projects also have got target beneficiaries. That is the people who are targeted to benefit from the project. These can be the clients, the customers, okay, who are getting the benefits of the project's products, services, or processes. Projects should have clearly defined objectives, that is, the end results to be achieved. So, for you to know that the project has met or has succeeded, then it must have defined, well defined objectives. So the objectives will steer the people to perform as they aim to achieve the objectives. Projects also have stakeholders, that is, people who have got interest in the project or are affected in one way or the other, and they include the sponsors, the customers, the clients, the staff, and the project manager. A project contains a well defined objective. I think that we've defined above. Projects should be carried out via a set of interdependent tasks. Interdependent, meaning the completion of one activity affect the starting of a given activity, or there is a way in which one activity affects the other. So for example, if program staff are to conduct a training, this can be dependent upon the approval and the availability of finance from the finance team. So that's what brings in the interdependent nature of the activities. Another is the project uses various resources. So we also mentioned that the project requires resources in order to be carried out. As we proceed, so we said there is project and there is a program, and the two terms are different. So a program, on the other hand, is defined as a series, usually large number of activities carried out in a defined geographical area or technical sector over a long period of time towards the achievement of specific impact or goal. So while in project we were talking about objective, but in program we talk of impact or goal. Also note that program is a collection of projects grouped and implemented simultaneously or serially over long duration towards a common goal. Okay, the coverage of a program is also usually bigger than the coverage area of a project, and the scope is inclusive of several technical sectors. The program has no strict time limit and may run for years or decades. And this also brings the difference, as mentioned, that projects, especially the health projects, can also reoccur, meaning after the first set term, then they can be refunded and then they continue. So, in summary, we can say a project has got specific objectives, a program has got broad objectives. Project has small number of activities. A program has got large number of activities in several projects. So why is program having several number of activities? Is because it is combining the small number of activities in projects to make up the program. A project has got short duration or short time, especially maybe 3 to 5 years, while program go for longer duration. Okay, a project is limited in coverage, while a program has wide coverage. A project scope or technical sector or subsector is limited. It has got limited scope, meaning the scope defines the breadth, how wide is the area of operation of a project. So on the other hand, program has got wider scope. Program has got wider scope. So as we continue, there are terms that make up what we call elements of a project, and we need to understand them clearly. We begin with the first term, that is goal, which is the situation that we are interested in changing as much as our project is concerned. So, a broad statement of the situation or change in status desired to be achieved in the future. So, what change do you want to bring in the community as you implement the project that makes the goal? So, a goal has got no specific magnitude and no strict time limit during which it will be achieved. So we don't have a specific time limit during which a goal can be achieved. And at times, the goal may be or may be not achieved at all. So we need to take note that a goal at times, as much as the projects are concerned, they may be or may not be achieved. So a goal, we can also define it as a statement, okay, of a desired state towards which a program is directed. Example is to have a world where all human beings enjoy peace and tranquility. So that is a goal, but it has never been achieved. Maybe the humanitarian projects try as much as possible, bring in the elements of peacekeeping, but the world has not been peaceful because people have got dynamic characteristics that they cannot be able to have peace at all. So, as much as it is desired to have peace for all human beings. Second is to be a world class university that is committed to academic excellence. So, as much as uh, the universities or the training institutions aim at having academic excellence, but this may not happen to all the students. To ensure a world where every child has an equal chance to good health, housing, and education, as an example of a goal. So, another, besides that, we have the objectives, which are a bit more specific uh, outcomes desired to be achieved in a specific geographical area during a specified period of time. So, an objective normally has specific target population or beneficiaries whose needs must be compatible with the objectives. So it is different from the goal in that it is more specific. So objectives, on the other hand, are specific operationalized statements that detail the desired accomplishment of a program. And always they must be smart. They must be smart. So, SMART is an acronym meaning specific, measurable, accurate, realistic, and time bound. For instance, we can have a SMART objective whereby to reduce the number of TB cases in Kenya by 40% by the end of 2025. So, the specific nature of this objective is it is purely targeting reduction of new TB cases, and it is also specific in Kenya, that is a specific geographical area. It is measurable because we can quantify the reduction by 40%, and also it is time bound, okay, by 2025. Another one is to ensure that 90% or 95%, sorry, of HIV infected persons are on antiretroviral therapy by the end of 2030. So again, you can see the specificity is infected persons on antiretroviral therapy, and then the time bound, then the measurement is 95%. Another element of a project is strategy. Strategy is the means or a way how the goals and the objectives will be met. So, how are you going to ensure that the goals are met? That is by having mechanisms or what we call strategies, specific activities you are going to do to ensure that a change is brought and the objective is met. So, in strategy specifies the general approach that will be used towards the achievement of the goals and objectives of a program or project. Other elements include the activities which we've mentioned, that is, the project processes that involve actions or things that have to be done or the doables in order to achieve the goals and objectives of a project. Inputs are the resources required and utilized for conducting an activity. So it means for an activity to be conducted, there is need to have resources. Outputs are the products resulting from conducting an activity or process. Or, for example, we can have the output of children immunized. So it comes from an activity of immunization. Then outcome is the external effect of the outputs of the activity or processes. In immunization, this is the immunization coverage. So remember, output is the immediate result of conducting an activity, while outcome is the medium term result that we get. Okay. For example, when we are conducting an activity of immunization of children, then the number of children immunized is the output. The immunization coverage is the outcome. Then here comes the long-term effect, that is the impact, okay, which is desired change. For example, when we have reduced morbidity and mortality from the immunization related disease